I used to watch a bunch of no-fap videos on YouTube, but still I would keep relapsing. I'd wake up in the morning feeling kind of groggy, pick up my phone, and then rub one out. After that, I'd go to school, have a shitty day, feeling like shy and awkward, come back from school, rub one out again, fill my time with playing video games and eating junk food, and right before bed, jack off twice again. The thing is, I was already watching a bunch of videos online about semen retention, like the benefits of it, like if you do it, you'll become a god basically. Even though I knew this and like I actually had some personal experience from like going on somewhat of a streak, I still like let this lower part of my mind still convince me to fap. I kept letting this stupid lower version of me keep sabotaging me. If you can kind of relate to what I've been through, trust me, you are not alone. There's millions of other guys out there who know about nofap, who know it's bad for them, who know that they should be like retaining their seed, but they still let their lower versions of themselves like keep them back. And I think a big problem with this is that a lot of the YouTubers making like no-fap videos, they don't really give you advice, okay, how do you actually stop jerking off? Like they'll give you a bunch of reasons like, oh, you shouldn't do it because of XYZ and like really hurts you, lowers your testosterone, whatever. But it's like no matter how much information they gave me, it still wouldn't like translate into me like not sabotaging myself. In case you don't know me already, my name is Neal and I'm building a community of men who are dedicated to their growth. If that's something that you'd like to be a part of, click the subscribe button down below. So for some people on their nofap journey, they can just like read a blog or watch a YouTube video and then say, okay, I'm done, I'm not gonna fap anymore, and then they just stop. But chances are, like if you're watching this video, that's not you. You've probably watched a ton of other videos before this. So clearly you still have a problem with it, and like all the other YouTubers, all the advice that you've gotten before hasn't worked completely. The advice that I'm giving is based solely on my personal experience, and from what I've learned, this may not work exactly for you, but chances are if you relate to me, there's a high probability that it will. So I guess you could just keep that in mind, take it as you will. So before we tackle the issue of fapping, we first have to understand what it actually is. It's just a pattern. If you want to get good at breaking these harmful addictions, you have to get good at breaking patterns. Because that's pretty much what an addiction is. It's just a pattern that you keep using over and over again, but it's harming you in some way. Because the thing is, when you do end up fapping, it's not like a random thing. Like it's not like you'll just be walking around some random place and then randomly you'll just like pull your dick out and start fapping. Like, I mean, I fucking hope so at least. Usually there's going to be this consistent time or scenario where you keep doing it. For most of us, this might be like in times where we're really bored and we're at home in our bedroom doing nothing, maybe in the bathroom, we have boredom so we just do it. Or maybe you're trying to go to sleep and you're having a really hard time, so then you end up fapping just so you can go to sleep faster. And for me, it was both of those. I'd wake up in the morning just before school and I was like really bored and I was like really not looking forward to the day that was about to come because I know I was probably going to be bored as shit. So I pick up my phone, go to like some porn site and then jack off. Or it'd be really late at night and I'm really bored and I know that I have to go to sleep because if I stay up any longer, like I'm going to feel really groggy like the next day. So then I just rub one out so I didn't have to deal with that. If you want to break your fapping addiction and you're like actually serious about it, this 3-step process will really help you because it's really helped me and I think that it should help you as well. It's really simple to do, but it's also really simple not to do. And I guarantee you a lot of the guys watching this video probably won't even take action on it. They'll just go on and watch the next nofap video and like keep struggling with this issue. But again, if you're actually serious about like breaking this pattern, breaking this harmful addiction, I highly suggest you take action on this 3-step process. So basically what it is first you need to reflect. It's pretty simple. Just think of the last time that you relapsed. What was the situation? Where were you at? Like around what time was it? And why did you do it? If I were to reflect on this question, like actually think back to like when the last time I did fap, it was really late at night and I was like trying to go to sleep, but I just couldn't because, you know, I was so stimulated. I had like been watching some YouTube videos and like had that blue light. It was really hard to go to sleep. I also had like some food in me, so like it made it even harder to go to sleep. And I was kind of laying in bed feeling a little stressed out because I know I have to wake up in the morning and like go to class, and I was like, fuck, I need to go to sleep right now. So then I just ended up relapsing. Don't overcomplicate this. Just think of the last time that you ended up relapsing and like kind of have that scenario in your head. The second part of the process is breaking the pattern. With this, you ask yourself, okay, well, how do I actually go about breaking this pattern? Because I can guarantee you, like the scenario you just reflected on and like thought of, there's been multiple times like before that, which were like very similar. Like in my case, right, there's been so many other times where I felt really sleepy, I couldn't go to bed, I felt like I had insomnia or whatever. And literally just because of that, I've relapsed so many different times. I could be on a streak of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but like still relapse just because of that. So it is a pattern. The question is, how do we go about breaking the pattern? And the way that you break this pattern is by coming up with the solution that fills the initial need, but is different and like obviously doesn't result in the consequences that you didn't want. So pretty much in my scenario, the problem was that I would keep relapsing, but it was only because I was like really sleepy and I had no other way to like force myself to go to sleep. Or at least no other way that was like, I guess good enough for me. So to break that pattern and also like solve the problem of like being able to go to sleep, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna have these melatonin gummies, and every time like before I go to sleep, I'm gonna just pop one of them. And so far, it's worked. I don't have like a street counter or anything like that because I think that that's kind of, well, it's not corny, but I just don't have it. But by breaking that pattern and solving the problem, now I don't have that urge to fap anymore. Like there's no other reason for me to do it. Now, of course, I don't know exactly where you are on your no-fap journey, and that's why I want you to go through this 3-step process by yourself. Reflect, find a way to break the pattern that also solves like the initial problem. Like for example, if I could tell my younger self he used to like jack off in the mornings, I'd literally just say to him like, dude, the only reason that you're actually like relapsing right here is just because you're bored and you have like nothing to do. And if you want to solve that, all you have to do is break that pattern and do something that solves the problem of boredom. For me, that started out as working out. And then it kind of evolved into like doing this whole morning routine and like doing some work, but it filled that problem of boredom. Like all the things that I do in the morning, I don't have like that boredom anymore, so I don't feel that urge to relapse anymore. I'm sure that by this point you kind of get the idea of it. If you've watched this far into the video and you are struggling with nofap, like you have that kind of awareness, don't be a pussy and just like go and watch the next video, be like, oh, I wonder what this guy is going to say about like nofap. Like, no, actually try this out, actually fucking do it. By the way, if you want to be part of this community of men who are dedicated to their growth, I am creating a Discord server that's going to be absolutely free. There'll be a link down in the description where you can join our community. If you want to join that community of like-minded men who are dedicated to growing in their lives and like improving, I highly suggest that you end up checking it out. But anyways, if you got some value from this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.